everybody, and welcome, one and all, to Teen Meets World. I'm Danny Owens, your host, and right there next to me is my associate slash co-host slash dad, Martin Owens.
Hey everyone, hey Danny, it's good to be back, episode 2.
Yeah, I can't believe we're doing this. Since the first episode, we were talking about anything that's Christmassy.
I know, and before you know it, we're going to be doing Christmas again, so we've got a lot of episodes to squeeze in, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
Right, okay, so we're doing Operation Disney Reboot.
Yeah, yeah, because today on this podcast we're going to talk about Disney classics that got live action remakes.
Yes! So what we're going to do is talk about original animations and then talk about the live action reboots.
Alright,
Yeah?
we're starting off with Pinocchio.
Oh, and why not? A classic. Probably one of the oldest ones, isn't it? When was that made?
It was made in 1940.
1940. Jeez Louise. Wow, long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Still a classic though. Probably one of my favourite Disney movies, really.
Oh yeah, and I'm so glad it recently got a remake on Disney Plus.
Do you know what? We're talking about this. We're kind of giving all the info, talking about it, doing the reviews, and I still haven't seen it. So you're going to have to do most of the talking on this one.
Oh yes.
Pinocchio. So, what type of puppet was he? What was it called? A
marionette?
Marionette, that's it. So he's a marionette. And he's trying to earn the right, isn't he, to become a real boy! By proving to be selfless, brave, and honest. Yeah?
Yeah, and I can't believe I liked the classic very much. And yes, the live action remake is good. It stars a great cast, including Tom Hanks as Geppetto.
Ah, yeah. Who else is in it?
There was also Keegan-Michael Key. He was Honest John in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Crook.
Yes, the Crooked Fox.
Yeah, dirty fox. And that filthy cat.
Yeah.
Oh, why I oughta. Yeah. What about his assistant? His assigned conscience.
Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah. So who played him?
Oh, in the remake, he's played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Ah, right, okay. I need to see this. You went and watched it without me, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
You can help yourself. Well, that's fine by me. So, let's touch on the original. I mean, absolute classic.
Yeah, because I know that the 1940 Pinocchio, I'm telling you, it did very well.
Oh, yeah, we know it did very well. So, it was made 1940. Oh, and it's still going strong. They're making reboots. Everybody still watches the original. So, in your opinion, if you could only choose one, okay, you're going to a desert island, and you can only take one version of Pinocchio, which one would you take?
I would take the classic animated one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice in the live action remake there were differences between that and the classic one.
Well, they've got to stick to the original story, obviously, because it's a reboot of the original. But to give it that sort of modern edge, they've got to make some differences, haven't they?
Oh yeah, there were a couple of differences, and I've spotted out in the Pleasure Island scene where they replaced the cigarettes and booze with junk food and root beer.
Ah, yeah, see, that's just trying to be more PC, more politically correct, to try and satisfy everybody on a level sort of even basis. You'll find that with a lot of things now, Danny. Everything that they've got to be seen to be what they call being PC.
Yes, exactly. And not only they've added stupid little boys like in the original, but there were stupid little girls as well.
Well, yeah, because it was really just like naughty boys, wasn't it, in the original one, and they all turned into donkeys, didn't they?
Yeah, they all turned into donkeys.
Go ahead, make a jackass of yourself.
Yep. What does he think I look like? A jackass? Hey, you laugh like a donkey. Ha ha ha. Hey, aw.
Nice impression, Danny. What about mine? Did you like mine?
Oh yes, the one with Jimmy Cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
So, I mean, you had, I don't know, pretty much every Disney movie going, didn't you?
Yes.
Hundreds of different movies and that. So, from this one, what would you say, like, if you're thinking back and feeling a little nostalgic and you want to go and revisit those movies that we used to watch, well, I suppose we still watch them. What scenes stick out in your mind when you think of Pinocchio? What scenes do you think of? What does it make you think of?
I always think about Pinocchio's conscience very well.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what scene? So when I think of Pinocchio, I always think of, like, all the naughty kids at Pleasure Island.
Yep.
I always think of that. But I always think about as well when he was inside the whale, Monstro.
Yeah.
And they start that fire, don't they? And the smoke and the fire irritates the giant whale. And he blows them out. And then that's how they make their escape.
Yes. And on that occasion, I also knew that in the live action remake of Pinocchio, they included extra characters, including a talking seagull and a ballerina with her own marionette.
Yeah, you were telling me. See, that's what I mean. They've got to make certain additions, haven't they? They can't have it exactly the same. They've got to make some differences to put their own little touch into the film. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
So, 10 being the best, 0 being the worst. The remake, where would you rate it? Out of 10, what would you give it out of 10?
I would make it just 1 out of 10 because...
No way! What? So you think it's completely rubbish?
Oh, yeah.
Do you make... What? Whoa! Seriously? It's that bad?
Yeah, because I liked the original better because...
Ah, that's fair enough. Okay. Well, if you like the original better, you like the original better. So, what we're doing, listeners, we want everyone to kind of vote or decide what your preference would be. So, if you could reply to our link on YouTube, your preference on Pinocchio, is it the classic 1940 animation, or is it the 2022 live action reboot starring Tom Hanks? So all you got to do is just reply with your preference. So, shall we move on to the next one then?
Okay, we could... Right, next up is Dumbo.
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 That was only a year after, that was 1941.
Yes.
Another classic.
Yeah. I did notice that the live-action movie, it was directed by Tim Burton.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Not a bad cast in it as well. It's got Colin Farrell.
It's got Michael Keaton.
Danny DeVito.
Yes, and Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Amongst others, there's others in there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Dumbo, that's an iconic one. That was your sister's favourite, absolute favourite Disney movie. couple of years ago, wasn't it? I mean, she's still obsessed with elephants. Not as much as she was, but I mean, she still loves Dumbo. Still got a Dumbo in her bed. But iconic, classic movie. So, the 2019 version with Colin Farrell. What did you think of that film?
I didn't watch that film that much, but
No, I think I've seen it once.
yeah. Well, what somehow confused me though is that the mouse, Timothy Q. Mouse, wasn't in the remake.
No, that's right. See what I mean though? It doesn't have to be exactly the same. But, now, I've got my favourite. Well, I say my favourite. I've got my preference here. Which one I would choose. Because I've watched Dumbo the cartoon that many times. I never want to see it again. I never want to see it again. I've watched it too many times, and that's because of Lee. She was totally obsessed with it. So, I didn't call my preference on the Pinocchio because I haven't seen the remake yet. But, for me, my preference is the 2019 live action. Because I think it was just a nice change to see the film in a live action movie rather than an animation. What about you? What would your preference be?
You know, my preference would be I would give it a number 1, just like with Pinocchio.
What, the remake?
Yes.
You're all about the originals, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So out of 10, well, I suppose it doesn't really matter what you're giving it. But just out of interest, what would you give Pinocchio out of 10?
It would still be a 1.
No, I mean the animation, sorry. What would you give that out of 10?
I would give it a 10 indeed, because I did know that both Pinocchio and Dumbo, they always had small people that gave them advice and helped them out.
Yeah, the little, the conscience and the guides and that. Alright, that's fair enough. Now, we've got another classic. And everybody knows this one.
Yes, it's Cinderella.
That must have came a little later than, is that 60s or 50s or when was that made? 60s?
It was 1950.
1950, wow. Alright, well, I said 50s. Wasn't that far off. Yeah, because they did a remake, didn't they? A live action. Who was in the live action remake?
It was Helena Bonham Carter, who was the fairy godmother.
Ah, yeah. And she's in loads of thingy films, isn't she? What's his name?
What's
the director called? That Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter always works with.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, yeah. Did he do that? By
No.
any chance?
No.
No? Yeah, well, that was a good film. Well, I remember it. This would be a tough one for me to call because, believe it or not, I mean, I haven't seen Cinderella since, I don't know, wow, it's been years. Years and years. That, I don't think I've seen the remake since that come out. So I'm not really sure. I might me sitting on the fence here is probably, I'm just going to say, right, I'm going to be safe. I'm just going to stick to the original. You can't beat originals.
Yeah.
I mean, they were that good that, you know, they've been throughout the whole Disney empire, haven't they, ever since. And they've made reboots from them because they're trying to recreate something amazing again. So, for me, I'm going to say the original. What about you?
I'm gonna say it's about the original Cinderella as well.
Let me guess. What are you going to give the rating? What's your rating for the Cinderella reboot out of 10? I mean, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It would still be 1.
Right, okay. It's a 1 from Danny. God, they're getting a right hammering from you. Right, okay, so what next?
Then there's Alice in Wonderland.
Ah, no, this is a classic. Yeah. There's been a few like adaptations of this, hasn't there?
Yes.
But I know there was a remake in 2010. That was Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, as well as cast like Helena Bonham Carter. There was also Stephen Fry, Timothy Spall, Matt Lucas, Paul Whitehouse, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, I was going to say Matt Lucas, because isn't that Tweedledee and Tweedledum?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah. Do you know what? I really liked that film. But I loved the original. That reminds me of being a kid.
Oh yeah. Yes. I liked the 1951 adaptation of Alice in Wonderland very much.
Yeah.
But for some reason, in the version directed by Tim Burton, it showed the story of Alice now being an adult, and she makes her come back to Wonderland.
Yeah. I thought it was a really good make. And don't forget, they did a sequel on that as well, didn't they?
Yeah, back in 2016.
Through
Through the Looking Glass.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, that was really good as well.
Yeah. You know what?
I think I know what way you're going to go on this one.
Yes, because I like the classic better, where Alice goes to Wonderland the first time.
Right, no, I didn't expect that. I thought you were going to... Do you know what? I thought you were going to go the other way. All right then, so what's your preference?
My preference on the film?
Yeah, is it the original 1951 or is it the 2010 remake?
I'll just go with the 1951 because I like it there.
So, am I right in saying that you like them all, but if you had to choose one, you're going with the original? Do you know if you were going on a desert island and you were only allowed to take one Alice movie, would you choose the original or would you choose the remake?
I would just go with the original, really.
Right? There's nothing wrong with that. I think for my sanity, if I was to go on a desert island and I was to take one of the Alice films, I would go for the 2010 reboot, the remake.
Well, it's actually a sequel with Alice returning to Wonderland.
Ah, right, okay. Well, I would choose the 2010 Alice in Wonderland, and if I could be cheeky, I'd like to pack Through the Looking Glass as well, 2016.
Oh, yes.
And I would take them. There's nothing wrong with the original. I love the original. But I would take those because I think if I just watched just animation, I would probably go nuts. So I'd have to see some real people. Even though the Hatter is pretty crazy, that'd probably keep me sane. I don't know. I'd go for that one.
Yeah, and the Cheshire Cat, he's always smiling.
Yeah.
Yes. A grin without a cat.
And where the Hatter goes to Alice. Yeah. And no. Yeah.
Or not even. Why a raven is like a writing desk.
So what we've got now then?
Next up is Lady and the Tramp.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. That was a good film.
Yes.
That was good. That was really good. Yeah. So that was made in the 60s?
Actually, it's made in 1955.
Wow. God, that far back. And they made, they did the remake, didn't they, in
Yeah.
2019, yeah.
Yeah. And by that year, because I never heard of Disney Plus before at the time, I thought it was going to have a cinema release. But then I found out it's just going to be released on Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah. Good film, though.
Yeah.
I liked it. But, I mean... Yeah. Sometimes you can't beat the original, can you?
Yeah, you can't beat it.
I'll tell you what, for me on this one, if I could only take one, I would take the 1955, did you say? The original?
Yeah.
I would take the original Disney animation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah,
Or do you even need to say?
I would like to go with that as well.
You can't take it because I'm taking it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joking. Right. So what we're doing next?
Next up is 1959's Sleeping Beauty.
Ah, yes.
Actually, wrong movie.
Was it?
It's Sleeping Beauty.
Ah, I was doing Beauty and the Beast, wasn't it?
Oh, yep.
God, what a chap. Right, okay. So we've got the original 1959 animated movie, and we've got the remake. Now, I really liked the remake, Maleficent.
Oh, yeah, because it's focused on the villain of the
Yeah.
movie, who turns out to be not a bad guy after all.
A bad gal.
I mean a bad gal.
I'm gonna go with Maleficent because I thought it was a really good film, really good. And now we got the second one as well.
Yeah, its own sequel.
Yeah, it's got a sequel. Same actress.
Yes, Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. I'm going for Angelina Jolie. I mean, I'm going for Maleficent.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what about you? Oh, I think you're going to say Maleficent on this one, aren't you?
Nah.
What? So you're going for the original?
Yeah, I'm going with the original because.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's your preference. It's your preference.
And then I know that not only the live action Sleeping Beauty is focused on Maleficent, but there was even 101 Dalmatians.
No, you're talking. I love this. That was made in the 60s, that one.
Yeah, in 1961.
God. 20 years before me.
Yeah, exactly. And I did know that it gained a live action movie in 1996 with its own sequel in 2000.
Oh, yeah.
In it starred Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels, that's it.
And Glenn Close.
She was Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
Don't forget Hugh Laurie. He played one of the villains.
Yeah, both him and Mark Williams from The Fast Show, they were both Horace and Jasper.
That's right, yeah. Hey, do you know what? That was a good film, That was a really good film.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'm going to be totally stuck on this, right? Because I had 101 Dalmatians on tape when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved it. Watched it hundreds of times. Still love it. I did enjoy the remake with Jeff Daniels and what's her name? Glenn
Close.
Glenn Close, sorry. I loved that. Well, I didn't love it. I did like it. So, for me, if I was going to choose between the original cartoon and that remake in 1996, I would go for the original animation. But there's a spanner to be thrown in here, isn't there?
Yep.
And that's because Emma Stone played Cruella de Vil in the recently released live action Cruella. We watched it not long ago, didn't we?
Yes.
That was a brilliant film. That was really, really good. I loved that film. But I think I know where you might be going with this. I'm following a pattern.
Yeah. Definitely.
So what's your preference then?
Next up.
No, what's your preference?
Oh, I mean, right. Okay. You know what? I do like 101 Dalmatians because it's got a catchy song about Cruella.
Yeah. Well, all right, I tell you what. So everybody knows, everyone that's listening, anyone that knows you, Danny, they're gonna know that you're gonna choose 101 Dalmatians, the original animated movie in 1961. We know that.
Yep.
But let's just apply the brakes here. What would you choose if I said, right, Danny, you can only pick either the 1996 and combined with the year 2000 101 Dalmatian remake with Jeff Daniels, you can either have those two or Cruella. What would you pick?
I would pick.
No. Forget the cartoon. We know you've already picked that, but I'm just saying, if you had to choose between Cruella and the Jeff Daniels ones, what would you pick?
You know what? I would go with the Glenn Close one.
What? Seriously? Oh, do you know what I just remembered actually? Tim McInnery, he's in it as well.
Oh yes, the guy from Blackadder.
Yeah, is he not Cruella's assistant? Or am I just making this up?
Nah, he's definitely not Horace or Jasper.
Not the villains. I'm sure he works for Cruella.
Oh, definitely.
But so you would pick the 1996 and 2000 with Jeff Daniels over the Emma Stone Cruella version? Ooh, not for me. I'm the new Cruella all the way.
Yeah, it's
I've
got a good cast. Like for example, Emma Stone. She does a good job as being Cruella.
She was brilliant. The film's brilliant. The soundtrack's brilliant. Really good. Did you like it though?
Ooh, oh yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't that awfully bad.
No, it wasn't. It was brilliant. Anyway, right. What we got next then? Because we've got a few to get through.
Next up is next up in 1966, Disney released a short, and it featured Winnie the Pooh.
Ah, yes.
And then, and a couple of years after that, there were two shorts that were also made, and then in 1977, it gamed into a combined movie.
Yeah. But do you know, for me, if I had to pick one out of the Winnie the Pooh animated movies, if I had to, I'd go for the live action that's mixed with animation. Is it like CGI?
Well, actually, it's live action. Yes, indeed.
I would choose the Christopher Robin 2018 movie.
Oh yes, because it does. It is really a good sequel to Winnie the Pooh because it features the story about how Christopher Robin left the Hunched Acre Woods to go to school.
Yeah, he grew up, didn't he?
Yeah, he became a father and got married.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he gets to reunite with his old friends, especially the silly old bear.
It's what do you call it, isn't it? Plays Christopher Robin.
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah. It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad film. So if I was to choose over the Winnie the Pooh animations and the live action, I've got to go live action. I think I'd go nuts if I was just to watch the animated ones. That's just because I'm a lot older. So I would go the animation. The live action, sorry.
Oh yeah.
What about you?
I would definitely go with the classical Winnie the Pooh because
Okay.
I know it's got direct-to-video films in there as well, like for example the Easter one from 2004, and there was even the Tigger movie and Piglet's Big Movie that both were released in theatres.
So what was the one with the backs in? Which one was that?
From 2011.
Me and you went to see that. I took you, didn't I?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we did both go. Me and you, both of us went to the cinema to see Winnie the Pooh, the 2011 version, because you know the 100 Acre Wood characters.
Yeah.
They mistakenly thought that Christopher Robin was gone to see the Baxen, but it was actually because it was actually a mistake by Owl. It was actually gone out and be back soon.
Yeah, not so smart after all, is he, Mr. Owl?
Yeah, our dear friend Christopher Robin has been captured by a creature called the Baxen. Backthun captured by the Backthun with the Backthun.
That was good. Right, we need to move on. So what we got now? What we got?
Next up is the Jungle Book.
Oh! Now you're talking. Classic. I don't know what year it was made. I know it was years ago. But that is a classic. I had that on videotape as well. And I probably wore it out by just constantly watching it. So I know them. Well, obviously they did a remake. Oh, do you know what? I can't choose this one. Right, what am I gonna do here? Am I gonna choose my childhood favourite? Oh, am I gonna go for the really good movie that was made where Christopher Walken plays
King Louis.
Yep, and you've got Bill Murray that plays
Baloo.
Yep.
We also have Scarlett Johansson as Car, Ben Kingsley as Bagheera, and Idris Elba as Shere Khan.
Yeah. Oh, what do you do? I don't know.
You know,
Well, let's get yours out of the way. Who are you picking? What's your favourite?
I'd pick definitely both versions because
Ooh.
I know that both movies have the same song of Bare Necessities and I Want to Be Like You.
Well. Danny, you've actually broke away from just choosing the original. You're going to go 50-50 on this, and you're going to pick both. Is that what you're saying? You pick
Definitely.
both? Oh, right, okay. So you're picking both, and I can't pick any. This is a strange one. See, if I think to being a kid, I will just go, yep, the original, because I loved it. But if I'm thinking, well, I was on a desert island and I only had one to choose, I'd have to go for the new one. Right, I'm going for the new one. Right. What's next?
Oh yeah. Next up.
Or do I go for... Yeah, sorry. New one. Sorry, go.
Next up is Beauty and the Beast.
Tell us all this time.
Now you've got it.
Okay, so... What we got with this? Because... Obviously the remake was called Beauty and the Beast. And that was Emma Watson.
Yeah, it also starred Ewan McGregor as well.
That's right, yeah. Was he the candle or something?
Lumiere, yes.
Lumiere.
It
You played Lumiere one year at school, do you remember?
Oh yeah, it was at a school play.
Good job, by the way, enjoyed that.
Yeah, there was even Sir Ian McKellen.
What in your school play?
No. Talk about the cast.
Alright, so he wasn't at your school play?
No, he wasn't at... let me continue the cast from the remake.
Sorry.
Alright, so we have Sir Ian McKellen, he
Yeah.
played Cogsworth.
Yep.
We have Emma Thompson, he was Mrs. Potts.
Yes.
There was Luke Evans, who surprisingly not only he played Gaston in this remake, but was in the Pinocchio remake as the coachman.
Ah, right, well I didn't know that because I've not seen the Pinocchio remake, so I've got to get on that, haven't I? I've got to get up to speed with this.
There was the remake also stars Kevin Kline and Dan Stevens.
Yeah. Yeah. So...
Oh yes, and Josh Gad. Forgot about Josh Gad because...
do you know what I was going to ask you? I was going to ask your opinion, right? So, do you know the remake, Beauty and the Beast? And it's got Emma Watson.
Yeah, playing Belle.
If you could change... If you were in charge of the casting there, and it wasn't going to be Emma Watson, who would you choose to play Belle?
Not quite sure.
I was never quite, sold on Emma Watson being Belle.
Yeah, then who did you expect it to be? Emily Watson?
Well, I don't know. I just thought, I don't know. I'm trying to be polite by saying I didn't think she was that good, or I thought they could have got someone better. But it's still a good film.
Yeah.
Still enjoyed it. So what are you doing? What are you choosing on that?
I have to choose
The new one.
Yeah, definitely the new one because
Were you going to say the new one or were you going to say the old one?
I mean the old one,
The old one. The original.
Yes, because I know that everything could be slapstick, especially for Lumia and Cogsworth.
Well, I'm going to go for the new one. Yeah, I prefer the even though I didn't really like Emma Watson playing Belle, but I'm still going to go for the new one because I thought it was good.
Yeah, brilliant. Next, we have Aladdin.
Oh, right. This has got the late great Robin Williams.
Yeah, who plays the genie in the classic.
Yeah, he was really good. That's a good cartoon.
Yeah, it even starred Gilbert Gottfried, who was Iago the parrot.
Yeah.
Sadly, Gilbert's no longer with us.
Oh well.
Rest in peace, Gilbert.
Rip, man. Yeah, and Will Smith, he played the genie in the remake, didn't he?
Yes, and it's not that bad, really. They even got Frank Welker to reprise his roles from the classic to voice Abu the Monkey, the Cave of Wonders, and Raja the Tiger.
Yeah. Do you know who I think might have been decent? Who might have been good? And this has got nothing. This has got nothing to do with that famous slap. Keep my wife's name out your damn mouth. Chris Rock. I think he would have been good at Aladdin.
As if.
Do you know who else would be good? Will Ferrell. He would have been good.
What? Maybe as Jafar?
No, I think he would have been good as. Wait a minute, who did I say? Not Aladdin. The genie. Sorry, the genie.
Oh, right.
Chris Rock would have been good as the genie. Sorry, and even Will Ferrell would have been really good as the genie.
Yeah. Yes, they could have done anything to replace the late Robin Williams, because, yeah, having Will Ferrell, Chris Rock as a genie would really suit them.
They got but they got Will Smith, didn't they?
Yes, they had to choose the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air himself.
That's right, yeah. Keep your wishes out your damn mouth!
Nice impression, Dad.
Thanks. Right, so, what are you choosing? The original or the new?
I'll have to go with the original because I miss Robin's performance as the genie.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, do you know what, Danny? I might surprise you here. I'm going to go for the original as well. I prefer that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Next up is The Lion King.
Yeah, The Lion King. So, this was a massive movie when it came out. Elton John did the soundtrack.
Yes, along with Tim Rice, and both of them worked together on DreamWorks' The Road to El Dorado.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, 1994, The Lion King. Massive movie. But then they did the remake, didn't they? Like the live action. 2019?
Yes, the same year they did Aladdin.
So, what are your thoughts here?
I find both of them good as well.
Yeah, you really enjoyed that remake, didn't you?
Yes. And I did notice that the Lion King remake was directed by Jon Favreau, who also directed the Jungle Book remake.
Do you know what? I had no idea that he directed those.
He directed some Disney he had to direct any Disney remakes that have talking animals in there.
Do you know what? Brilliant. I had no idea. So where do you sit on this? Because I'm a little confused. Well, I'm not confused, but I really don't know where you are on this one. So, which one are you going to choose? Are you going to choose the Lion King 1994 animated movie or the remake of 2019?
I'll have to go with both of them because
Oh, sitting on the fence. Come on, Danny, I've got to push you for an answer. Which one would you choose as your favourite?
it will have to be both of those.
So you can't decide, that's fair enough. I've made a decision and it's the new one.
Yeah, it's good.
That's mine.
The original Lion King, it had a splendid cast like Matthew Broderick, Nathan Lane, James Earl Jones, Jeremy Irons, Cheech Marin, Whoopi Goldberg.
Massive. Loads.
While the remake had Donald Glover, Trilogy Chair 4, Keegan-Michael Key, he was in the remake as well.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen, Billy Eichner, and even James Earl Jones returns to voice Mufasa.
Yeah.
And Beyonce was in that movie as well.
Beyonce, yeah. Massive cast. I said massive cast,
Yeah.
not massive ass. So, we've got one left, haven't we?
Yes, last but not least, Mulan.
Yeah. Mulan. Now that was in the early 2000s, maybe?
Actually, it's 1998.
98, okay. Close. Yeah, and they did a remake in 2020, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, because it was originally going to be released in cinema, but they decided to change the date and decide to release it on Disney Plus instead.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Because
of the pandemic or something?
yeah, it was because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's out now. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't a massive fan of the animated movie. Wasn't a massive fan of it. But I didn't mind the live action remake. That was alright. We watched that a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
didn't we?
that movie, the classic movie, it's got a brilliant cast like Harvey Fierstein and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the remake, there wasn't a familiar cast, a familiar name in the cast. In fact, Mushu the Dragon, he wasn't in the live action remake. He's now started to end up exactly like the mouse from Dumbo when they didn't include him in the live action remake of the said film.
Oh, well. Doesn't matter though, does it? So, where are you on your preference? Is it the 1998 animated movie or is it the remake live action 2020?
It has to be the classic one because I love it when there's a single familiar name in the voice cast.
Really?
Yeah, they've got familiar names, ones are celebrities and ones that are just big time voice actors.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. That's your choice. I'm going to go with the remake.
Oh yeah.
Because I wasn't a massive fan of the original Mulan anyway. So if I had to watch them, I'd rather watch the live action one.
Yeah, they should have also, the live action remake should have included the song I'll Make a Man Out of You.
Brilliant, Danny. I really enjoyed that. So, is there anything else that we need to cover? Or was that all of them?
That was all of them, and there are others to come out soon, either coming in cinemas or on Disney Plus, mostly definitely Disney Plus.
Well, we've really enjoyed doing this, haven't we? Talking about the originals and the reboots. So we were talking behind the scenes that we might do another episode where we're discussing originals and reboots and remakes and sequels and prequels and things like that. Mm. So if there's anything that anyone wants us to talk about, then just put it in the comments below, and we'll definitely take them on board, and we'll do a little bit of research if we need to, and we'll talk about that, won't we, Danny?
Oh yeah.
Now, I think that's probably it from us. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I have. I thought it was really good, Danny.
I've enjoyed it, and yes, I mostly liked the remakes to The Lion King and The Jungle Book.
Yeah. Me too, Danny. I love the remakes to pretty much all of them, to be honest.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think that's probably time for us to say adios.
Yes, yep.
Now, everyone, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share it, tell your friends, family, share the links, and don't forget to put in the comments your preferences of all the movies that we've discussed today. So, I'll give you a very, very, very quick recap. So, the films that we've talked about today are...
Alright, so we've talked about Pinocchio, Dumbo, Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, Lady and the Tramp, Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, Winnie the Pooh, The Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, and, last but not least, Mulan.
Yes, and I hope you've enjoyed it. So make sure you put in the comments your preferences, the originals or the remakes or reboots, prequels, sequels, whatever. Let us know what you prefer. So from me, Martin, Dad, co-host.
Yes.
Catch you next time.
Yeah, see you all next time for Teen Meets World.
Adios.
Yeah, see you on another episode.
Bye.
Goodbye. That's all, folks.
Ciao, mama.